everyone, how are we today? I'm just doing a quick all signs reading, just looking at no contact situations, everything that has been left unsaid. All right, so, unanswered questions, the unspoken truth. We are going to reveal that for you today. Okay, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Not only do I super appreciate that, but it really does help the channel. Being such a small, non-monetized channel, I do really appreciate every single like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know if there's a specific topic that you've enjoyed seeing in the all signs readings or that you would like to see. I love seeing all those comments, guys. Please, even if it's just the emojis, I love them, all right? So today we're using the Unspoken Truth Oracle there. I do also have the Slavic Folklore Lenormand. Starting off with Aries today, timestamps in the description box, as is all my other info, okay? So, Aries, what's been left unsaid in your no contact situation, Aries? No contact situation for Aries. What has been left unsaid? Unanswered questions for our Aries. Okay. Had one flying out there, Aries. That was, we were supposed to be us, not just you and me. Okay, so obviously this energy of it was supposed to be us together against the world, not just two individuals facing individual paths, but two following the same path together. Do you ever think about me late at night? Okay, so it's kind of that energy. I'm getting that that phrase of like, do you ever stop and think and look at the moon and wonder if I'm watching the same moon? That kind of energy that, there's, I feel like that's going both ways too here, Aries, that you still thinking quite a lot of this person, especially late at night, and you knowing that there is this, we were supposed to be together, but knowing that, we're walking two individual paths, but we should have been walking side by side. You both seem to know that there was some sort of destiny that is being left unspoken here, left unanswered for, a destiny of togetherness. Aries, what's been left unsaid in the no contact situation for Aries? There's that moon again, Aries. We have the moon coming through first here. So, I'm also randomly picking up here quite often the moon talks about beauty and luck, and it can talk about fame sometimes as well. I'm just picking up on that. Fame is coming through here. One or both of you may be sort of, maybe that's why we're no contact. Maybe somebody is seeking their fame and fortune outside of the connection, and that's what sort of took them off into the night. For some of you, there might be something about off into the night coming through in this no contact situation here as well. But this is a lot of emotions, and especially with that, together, destined to be together energy there, and our intuition is so strong with the moon here that you both seem to intuitively know that there was this unfulfilled destiny between the two of you. And it's been left unsaid that you both kind of know that the story shouldn't be over, that we're both very emotional about, there is a lot of sensitivities here. It's kind of like triggers seem to be very strong emotional triggers that, both of you, because I'm getting a lot of mirroring energy here as well, Aries, that both of you, it's kind of that energy of like if you heard that person's name in passing, like on TV or something, you hear a character has that name, it triggers you immediately, and you all of a sudden these feelings rush to the surface, and you can't help but think of that person immediately. So there is a lot of emotion still connected to each other. We also have the Garden, which I'm getting a very sort of deep destiny kind of spiritual energy between you and this person, Aries. The Garden is like, will we ever meet again? Will we ever meet and be on the same page? Will we ever meet at the same place? This it's been left unsaid that we both feel like we need to meet again. And I'm getting this, if not in this life, in the next kind of message that I feel like one of you is kind of saying that okay, well, that's it for this life, maybe in the next. So I don't know whether that's you or this person, but they're still thinking about you a lot and kind of telling themselves, well, maybe it'll happen in the next life. Maybe, it didn't happen this time. Maybe it'll happen in the next life. Maybe I will meet Aries again and, things can be different. Maybe we'll be able to actually, find a place where we can both be on the same page again. Because we do have the Lily coming through here as well, which is long-term emotional emotional inclusivity, I suppose, a lot of intimacy on an emotional level. It's kind of like understanding each other's emotions intuitively without even having to see each other. So, if you're having, I'm kind of getting, for some of you, it might be that thing where, if you're having a bad day and you're feeling very, sad, for example, the other person is over in their life and they're like, why am I feeling so sad today? For others of you, it could be kind of, because there's this mirroring, but there's also an equal pairing. So for some of you, it might be like when things are going really good for you, the other one is not going so well, that they're having a bad day when you're having a good day. And it's this kind of spiritual balance between the two of you here. But there is a lot of long-term energy here. This, maybe we'll meet again and this time it could be forever kind of thing. Maybe this time we could grow old together. I do feel as though, with the Lily coming through here, there's probably a lot of emotional health issues on both sides of this as well. So, we do see mental health issues and things like that coming into play because of the emotions. Like, you both took this very hard, I feel, and neither of you are really, it's been left unsaid that this was supposed to be the be all and end all. This was supposed to be forever. This was supposed to be the person that I could be, most vulnerable with, but maybe in the next life kind of thing here. So there is still a very strong emotional connection here, Aries, and you both are, very emotional, still very emotionally triggered by this connection. Very interesting. You may want to cross watch and watch the other person's sign as well and see what comes out on their perspective, or check out your other placements, of course. Definitely subscribe to the channel though, and we will move on over to Taurus. Okay, Taurus. No contact situation for Taurus. What's been left unsaid in the no contact situation for Taurus? Aries just had that same card. I've been getting, Taurus, a lot of you on the cusp. I must have some cuspers watching the channel, but also, maybe some of you Taurans have a lot of Aries placements or dealing with Aries and things like that, but it has been linking up a lot lately with both of you. Do you ever think about me late at night? I'm like getting for you, someone's having trouble sleeping. They're having trouble sleeping because they're thinking of you, Taurus. But can you still trust him or her? That's an interesting energy, Taurus. I feel like that's what's been unsaid is that this person, I feel like that may, for a lot of you, that's actually this person not sure whether they can still trust you, Taurus, to be honest. It could go, either way, but there's still doubt around trust. A lot of trust issues here. No contact situation for Taurus. What has been left unsaid for Taurus? Firstly, we have the Mountain there, followed by the Anchor. All right, so we're kind of stuck in obstacles. We're stuck in blockages. It's like there's a mountain between us that's holding us both in place. There's no movement at all here, Taurus, unfortunately, for those of you who want movement in this no contact situation. There's delays and challenges and blockages and, a lot of hard work and perseverance, because, especially with that trust issue there as well, that, if anything were to ever, that's what's unanswered here, is that this giant blockage of stuck energy of trust, this blockage and obstacle of the trust issues, and someone feeling as though they can't rely on the other because of the trust stuff. They can't rely that what that person is saying is the truth. So whether that's you or them. But we also have the Herald coming through here as well. So very interesting, because that also is an Aries card. That is the Aries card that traditionally is the stork energy. There's changes and transitions and, movement occurring here, but it's like stirring up new energy. So feeling so stuck in this situation with this person that you're not in contact with, Taurus, it is stirring up new energy altogether. So I do feel as though you are kind of both moving towards new ideas on, moving on to new people, I suppose, is the best example of what that would mean there. Moving on to new things in our lives, because this situation is just so stuck, and there's just so much work that would need to be done and overcome in order to see movement with this situation. There's this huge issue of trust. Still think about each other late at night, but there is a huge issue of trust there. And that may not be anyone's fault either. That may just be, obviously we all have things where sometimes trust is very hard to overcome, that blockage of can I trust anyone? A lot of people do really struggle with that. So, there is one of you that the trust is just this giant mountain in between the two of you right now. So it's kind of easier, I suppose, to stir up new directions to move into, rather than try to climb this Mount Everest that's sitting between yourself and that person, because it's just very stuck energy, holding you back kind of energy. All right, Taurus, so that's what we're seeing for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Geminis. Pardon. Okay, Gemini. No contact situation for Gemini. What's been left unsaid for our Geminis? I want to say for you here, Gemini, left unsaid, left on red. You were my home. Now you're just a place I can't return to. Losing you taught me love isn't about possession. So was it you or them that had the control issues, Gemini? That, the material world, somebody was a little bit controlling maybe, and, had a very strong concept of things being material possession rather than, more esoteric belief systems, like love. Someone was very grounded in reality, or very focused on work, career, money, having a nice house, nice car, whatever that means for them, having all the nice clothes. Somebody was very grounded in materialism, and losing you has actually taught them that those material possessions are not the be all and end all, that you can't take it with you kind of thing. But, emotional things like love, they never really placed as much importance on, and they're now realizing that they should have, because they're now realizing that love is more important than the nice car, the nice house, all that sort of stuff, that you were the home, that they might be able to go and buy 1,000,000 houses, but home was a person. It wasn't a material item. So I feel like this person is like kind of going through a little bit of a dark night of the soul, to be honest. They're learning a lot and getting out of this material mindset, realizing that, there is more than just money in this world. Gemini, what's been left unsaid in the no contact situation for Gemini? They do seem to recognize that this is not retrievable. Interesting, because we do see the tree coming through first. So there is a lot of self-healing going on with this person, a lot of growth and, maturing with their mindsets and the way that they consider things like family and health as a belief and a system of love, rather than a financial health and, something that you can buy, basically. They are going through a very intense period of self-discovery and healing within themselves and growth. So, there is this hope here. We do have the house followed by the ring. So there is this, especially with that referring to home is where the heart is kind of energy, that you are my home. Now you're just a place I cannot return. They now know that that's something that they want. I feel like for a lot of you, they think that that's never going to be possible with you, but now they kind of know that it's possible to have that. And they're like, well, now I need to find a stable relationship. Now I need to, heal enough so that I am worthy of a secure and stable relationship. And I can't repeat these patterns. I need to, break the cycle that I've created within my own self. And, so if nothing else, I feel like you've been a big instigator for this person in their growth and their healing and, maybe trying to do better next time kind of thing. But it does feel as though they know that there's no, like it's non-refundable, basically, when it comes to you, that there may still be this hope that they could find that stable relationship with you, but I know that, like, then they're kind of like, I know that that's not very likely. And if it was, it would be, I would have to present a totally brand new version of myself, totally healed and grown, mature version of myself, as compared to the version of me that Gemini once knew. So, they're doing the work. They are doing the work, though. So that's a good start, right? But that's what we're seeing for you, Gemini. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel and we'll move over to Cancer. All right, Cancer, the no contact situation for Cancer. What's been left unsaid for our Cancers, please? Is this relatively a new no contact situation, Cancer? New as in like maybe the last 6 months or so? If you ask, I'll stay. All right, so we see someone here wanting you to kind of tell them what to do. That they kind of want you to ask. I do feel that with that card, there is a bit of a chaser-runner dynamic, and there's this part of them that they know that they don't want to be engaged in that dynamic anymore, and that they want to stay, but they need a reason. They need an excuse, kind of thing. They're needing a sign from you, Cancer. They want you to ask them to stay. It doesn't necessarily. We'll see how we go through that, but because I'm picking up here that they may not necessarily be willing to do the work that would be necessary to stay, but they kind of want you to ask anyway. Interesting. I'm scared of what we could become. So I feel like for a lot of you, they kind of ran away. They feel very avoidant energy here, Cancer, that there's a lot of fear there, that I'm scared of what we could become. It's like there's this, it's a duality as well. There's a scared of that we could become everything, but I'm scared that we could become strangers all over again. Like even if I was to stay, I'm scared that it won't work. And, if I go, obviously it's not going to work, but it's kind of like easier for them to cut that cord and not risk losing you, if that makes sense. Even though they know that they're losing you, it's under their own control. They're making up little excuses in their head here, Cancer. But it's because they're scared. They're scared. And there's a lot of fear here too, that it's because it's kind of like this, I'm picking up on a little bit of like player type energy there too, where I'm scared that we would become, that's it forever, and I'll never meet anyone else because I'll be with Cancer, and I'm scared that that'll, with the red string in that, it's kind of like I'm scared of being tied down in some sort of a way, like, which, they're seeing it in the wrong way, that's for sure. Cancer, what's been left unsaid in the no contact situation for Cancer? Card's really talking today. Oh, okay. That's because that was the cross. They still feel as though their destiny is linked with yours. Once again, because of that red string theory being shown in that card, you can see the red string being cut. So this is your person here trying to cut that red string, because they know that with the red string theory, it's like you always come back to each other, and that you're connected beyond, reality. And it's destiny, that there's a destiny attached to that. But it's kind of like it's a big responsibility for them. It's like they're not mature enough to have that be like, have this connection be it forever. They're kind of like, oh, but what if there was someone else? But they know that there's this fear. It's like, it's kind of like they were dating not expecting to ever find the one, and they were dating with this expectation of, having this chance to go and date, like 50 different people and experience 50 different types of relationships. But they've kind of found you, and now they're like, oh, that's the end. Like they didn't expect to reach the end of their dating life. They there's a lot of immaturity coming through. It's kind of like this weight, like it feels like a big responsibility on their shoulders, really, that they weren't prepared for. We do have the tree coming through next. So they know that they need to heal and grow and mature a lot more for this connection. We also see the grave coming through there as well. So, they know that there needs to be a serious transformation on their end, because you can even see with this grave card, we've got the dragon with the butterfly wings. So we see, scary, 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 but also the opportunity for metamorphosis. So it's kind of like it needed to end in order for it to, go into its cocoon for a little while, and then hopefully, transform into something healed, something that maybe, we could come back around to at some point. I do feel as though they know that they need to do some substantial transformation and healing within themselves, if they ever want to come back around again to this connection, Cancer. But it's kind of one of those only time will tell kind of thing for now. You know, they're in this it's very on-off energy as well, very hot and cold. Like, if you want me to, I'll stay, but I know that if I stay, I'm not going to be healed enough, and I'll probably do the same things all over again. So they're trying to cut this connection off altogether. But it's like this hot cold. Like, I want it, but I don't want it. I'm scared of it, but I want it. But, you know, very hot cold there, Cancer. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Leo. Okay, Leo, and the no contact situation. What's been left unsaid in the no contact situation for you, Leo? This person's energy is very Are they older than you, Leo? We get you've come further than you think. So it's kind of that energy of like, no one else ever came as close as you, Leo. It's like, you got closer to me than I ever let anyone, Leo. You've come further than you think. It's kind of like this. I am picking up like a teacher-student kind of energy here. Your person seems to think that they're the more mature one, the wiser one, your past shapes you but doesn't define you. See, once again, it's like this person is like, they're saying you've come further than you think. Your past shapes you, but it doesn't define you. It's kind of like I hate to say it, but it feels a little bit arrogant even. Like this person is kind of talking down to you a little bit, Leo. Like it feels like they're blaming you. And that it's because Leo's not mature enough. Leo's not, Leo is defining themselves by their past. It's kind of like they're trying to like teach you, Leo. Interesting. Leo in the no contact situation. What's been left unsaid for Leo in the no contact situation? It does feel a little bit arrogant, this energy. Which, as we all know, Leo is the star of the show, so what? They're very stuck in their own ways. Maybe a Taurus for some of you here. We do have the ring coming through first. It's like this person has a pattern. This is like a pattern for them, a cycle for them. And that's why they're saying you've come further than you think, because you came closer to seeing the truth of them than they let anyone see. You came closer to breaking their pattern than anyone else. But this is kind of like a game to them, a pattern to them. Like, we also have the Reaper, which that in the traditional decks, that's the scythe, which, it comes through quick and breaks us free from things and cuts things out. So it's like as soon as you started getting close to the truth of them, they were like, that's it, I've got to cut you out. Like, because you're going to, because there's a part of them that they know they need to cut this cycle, cut this pattern out. And here's them trying to sort of say, oh, look, but I'm breaking the chains. Like, your past doesn't define you, Leo. But it's their own, it's because it's projection, right? Projection 101. Their projection, they're trying to tell you that they are the curse breaker, that they are the one that can break all the cycles and patterns, but they're not. They haven't broken their own pattern. And as soon as it came close to breaking, they broke free from the connection altogether. They're stuck in their ways. We have the anchor here. They're this very stubborn, stuck energy. They may be very impulsive as well when it comes to relationships. So this may have gone no contact very impulsively, like very all of a sudden, that's it, it's over. And you're kind of left there like, what? It's because they're so stubborn and they won't change their pattern. They won't change their ways. It's kind of like this energy. I'm kind of getting this energy too, that they knew that they wouldn't be able to practice what they preach if they continued a connection with you, Leo, because you are someone that would not only see through that, but also you would push them to change themselves as well. They were not interested in changing themselves. They were interested in fitting into their mold. But when it came to them fitting into your mold, no, they were not interested in changing that pattern at all. I honestly feel as though for some of you, you even have proof of this pattern because you are speaking to one of their exes and they're saying the same thing. They're saying the exact same thing. What happened with you, Leo? They did the exact same thing with me. You know, that's they haven't changed a bit is something I feel like a lot of you have heard said about this person. That someone says, oh, what happened with you and this person, Leo? And you say, oh, this and this and this. And they said, oh, they haven't changed at all. They haven't changed at all. I knew them a long time ago. They haven't changed at all. They try to put on this front like they have. I'm kind of getting like spiritual guru type energy off this person, that it's like that fake spiritual guru type energy where, you know, like, because I'm getting references now to like tantric sex and all that sort of withholding and a lot of sex-based stuff. And they're trying to act like they're all this spiritual guru, but at the end of the day, it's all about sex. They just want sex. Like, I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird energy. I don't necessarily like it for you, Leo. Especially my Leo rising is bucking against that for sure. That's what we're seeing for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Virgo. Okay, Virgo in the no contact situation. What is being left unsaid for Virgo in the no contact situation, please? Oh, I just had this exact same card for Leo. You've come further than you think. I feel like that's you, Virgo, to be honest. I feel like that's you more so than this person that, you know, you've actually put in a lot more work than you give yourself credit for. And there's, you know, you've come further with healing from this situation than you realize. I think that that's what that's about, is that you're right on the cusp of forever in another direction. And you've actually healed significantly from this situation. And, you know, so to be completely honest, I'm kind of a little bit here like, Virgo, why are you watching a no contact reading? Because you don't actually care anymore. You know, maybe at one point, maybe for some of you, it's a habit, right? To know, oh, I'll watch that no contact reading because it's kind of like a habit. But you've strayed far from that path already. Our connection is intense and it scares me. But you can kind of see that great divide there. You know, I feel like you've already made your choice and you're walking in the other direction. You see this giant chasm and you're like, you know, there was an intense connection there. It was intense. I feel like it scared your person more than you. You were ready to jump across that chasm. You know, so this is kind of past energy, I feel, for a lot of you. That, you know, and there may have been like, I'm getting like from the lightning strike in the background there, I'm getting like there was maybe a shocking discovery was part of this situation as well. and your person kind of, I feel like you were standing there going, oh, it's okay. I can jump across to you. It's not a problem. And your person was like, no, it's too scary. It's too deep. It's, don't jump. We'll just walk our separate ways. And they walked away and left you standing there wondering, I could have just easily stepped over the chasm. But you've come now further than you think. You've moved on away from this situation more than you realize you have. Virgo, what's been left unsaid in the no contact situation for our Virgos? Left unsaid for a Virgo. We have the Club, all right? Drama, conflict, arguing. There might have been like an actual significant argument or fight that took place here. There was just conflict of interest, that one of you was like, oh, it's okay, I'm just going to walk this other way. And you were like, but conflict of interest. You stay on your side and I'll stay on mine, they kind of said to you. And it did cause a bit of a fight. There was probably a significant argument between the two of you, or a significant drama of some sort of conflict that took place here. But you're moving away from that. We see the ship there. You're definitely moving away from that towards new beginnings. All right. For some of you, you may have a child with this person, but you're still sort of looking for the new adventure, the new, fresh, new beginning. You're trying to see the world with fresh eyes again and just seek out adventure now, rather than going back to the conflict. The conflict and the argument is kind of backwards, and that this particular connection, that's what's there. It would be, you would have to fight too hard for it, because this person has already walked away from the divide. Even if you're still standing there going, come back, I can jump over, wait up for me. It's too much of a fight. You have to fight too much to even get them to hear you. So it's best for you here, Virgo, to, travel in a new direction and seek new beginnings. All right, new adventures to be had, new journeys to be undertaken, because you're further along that journey than you even realize, Virgo. So you have actually already started that new journey, and you just maybe haven't even realized it yet. All right, but that's what we're seeing for you. More than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel. We will move on over to Libra. Libra in the no contact situation. What's been left unsaid for Libra with this no contact situation, please? Okay. You're wanting a good shuffle there, Libra. Okay, we can do that. Libra, if you're questioning it, you already know the answer. It's already been written. The answer's already been written. You know exactly what this says. Libra, you are one of the more intuitive signs. You already know exactly where it's at. Can you still trust them? Can you even still trust them? The writing's on the wall. You already know the answer here. That I kind of feel like, this is coming across as a question. Can you still trust him or her? You already know that if you were to give this person another chance, that trust is going to be a huge issue, and that no, you cannot trust them, because it's kind of giving me this energy of like, you left once, so how can I trust that you would not leave again? Kind of energy. I'm getting like a Dear John kind of letter. Dear John, sorry to inform you. Libra, what's been left unsaid in this no contact situation. You know, and I don't think there has, like, even if there is, I feel like for you, Libra, even if there is anything left unsaid between the two of you, that it doesn't matter anymore, because you know that there's not much that they could say that could change, that could make you trust them, could make you trust their love, that kind of thing. We have the Tower coming through first. You're like, I can only trust myself. I'm better off alone. I need to isolate myself from this person. I would not be surprised if a lot of you, you're the one that made this a no contact situation, to be honest. I feel like for some of you, you've got them blocked. You're like, you changed something deep within me that threw me out of my normal pattern, my normal structure. You know, you made me feel uneasy about myself and about my whole, you know, inner world. I can't trust that you would not make me feel like that again, that you wouldn't rattle me to my core all over again. So I feel like that's where the trust issue is coming from, that, you know, there was something that shook you to your foundation and, you know, rattled you. And you're like, well, I'm better off by myself, you know, than feeling like that and having someone make me question myself. We have the Grave coming through here as well. So we definitely see that it's over and done with. You know, there was a very sudden ending here, because we have the Reaper there as well. So that's you know, the scythe. So we see that the coffin and then the scythe in the traditional lenormand there. But, you know, so the coffin, it can involve a transformation, but the transformation would be born of impulsiveness with the scythe there. Okay, so you're kind of questioning that, you know, they would impulsively, you know, try to win you back, kind of thing. But you already know that, you know, they've shaken the trust. The foundation of trust has been broken. So you wouldn't trust that they have transformed. You wouldn't trust that they have really changed. That you wouldn't trust that, you know, for some of you there was addiction issues. You wouldn't trust that they have completely ended those issues. You know, and that they're kind of doing a sudden turnaround, and, you know, your transformation was too sudden. Do I trust that it even happened, kind of thing? Like, or are you just telling me that you've transformed because you have a goal here? You know, so it's for a lot of you, I feel like there will be contact again, but you just aren't going to trust it, because, you know, it's kind of time for a reckoning here, that you're kind of like, no, I'm better off by myself, because you really shook me to my core and rattled my foundation. So for a lot of you, there was definite, on your side, there was a lot of issues around, you know, your self-confidence and self-image, that this person rattled you to your core, made you doubt yourself. So you can't trust them, because you just don't trust that they are able to transform, especially so quickly. I feel like for a lot of you, it's kind of like they're coming back saying, I've changed everything about myself that you didn't like, Libra. And you're like, in a month? I don't know about that. That's probably not possible. You went and got a new job and a new, you know, a new family and a new, like, because I feel like a lot of the things that they're saying, oh, but I cut that out. You're like, but you've only been off that for a day. So just because you've cut that out for a day, that doesn't mean that, you know, you're going to be here to stick around for a 10-year stint. You know, get back to me when it's been a bit of time, and then maybe I'll trust your transformation. But that's what I kind of feel like is happening with that there, Libra, that it's kind of just, it's too sudden and impulsive when they do try to come back around, and you're just like, I don't trust that. Like, 2 days does not a reformed person make, kind of energy. All right, so that's what we're seeing for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Scorpios. Okay. All right, Scorpio, the no contact situation for our Scorpios. What's been left unsaid in the no contact situation for Scorpio, please? Okay, Scorpio. Firstly, we're seeing I keep stepping towards you only to pull away again. So this person has been wanting to reach out, Scorpio. They've been wanting to come back towards you, but they keep hesitating and pulling away again. So I feel like for a lot of you, you're feeling this too in the energy, that you're feeling this person pull on your energy and, get closer to you and then pull away again, and then get closer to you and then pull away again. Those seemingly coincidental events are actually prearranged. So for some of you, I'm getting a couple of messages from this actually. For some of you, this person, this is why they're pulling away, is because they feel guilty, because when you first met this person, they met you before you met them. They, the things that felt like it was coincidental, this person had actually arranged. There was actually certain things that this person had, it feels like researched about you before they met you. We see this couple here in a library. It feels as though they knew about you before you knew about them. And there's certain facets of the connection that were prearranged by them. All right, so that's very interesting. For others of you, it's more to do with future coincidental events that are being prearranged, that they're trying to run into you at some place, or if you've got mutual friends, they're trying to kind of set it up so that you're both visiting the same friend at the same time, or they're trying to keep tabs on you in some kind of a way. They want to know what you're doing, who you're spending time with, all that sort of stuff. And there is a couple of you too, and I feel like it's for everyone, that there's a lot of coincidental things just in general in the universe around you right now, that kind of make you feel like this person is coming towards you. And that's kind of cosmically prearranged, that there may be certain, it's kind of like the universe is like, oh, look, they're about to come towards you, and then they pull away. As soon as it's in the blueprint of the universe, they pull away. So there may be some coincidental kind of things, I'm just trying to think of examples, but it's things that just don't really seem because I feel like you, Scorpio, you're picking up on the fact that, oh, that's a big coincidence. But is it really a coincidence, or is it kind of the universe kind of being like, hang on, pay attention? Scorpio and the no contact situation. What's been left unsaid? But I do strongly feel this energy of this person kind of fiddling with things, or researching things to try to prearrange, to set up, it's a setup kind of thing, something along those lines. No contact situation. What's been left unsaid for Scorpio? Yeah, there's a lot of ideas, a lot of movement in play here. We do have the Herald coming through first, which is the Stork in the traditional deck. So for some of you, this person may have Aries placements, but it's like they're kind of trying to stir up things, prearrange things, stir things up so that the right circumstances happen at the right time. They've got all these, all these ideas that they're trying to generate success with. They're trying to move towards you by stirring up this or stirring up that. For some of you, it's even stirring up in the sense of poking the bear, or like shit stirring the shit. So once again, I'm getting mutual friends, and they're maybe trying to say things to mutual friends in the hopes that it gets back to you, and it prearranges things in this certain kind of way, just to stir the shit a little bit, and just to see if you still care, because they're like, oh, well, if Scorpio has an emotional reaction, then I know that they still care. There is this cross energy here. This person has a lot of responsibility, is not the right word today for that. This sense of suffering, that they've got this huge cross on their shoulders. They're carrying a lot of guilt, especially for those of you where they have already prearranged things. They are carrying a lot of guilt about that. And they're kind of, I'm hearing the phrase, but I know the words aren't correct, but I'm hearing the phrase purging their own suffering. Perjurer of their own suffering. So it's like they're prearranging themselves feeling bad. They're doing things in a certain way that is, it's kind of like a self-destructive behavior that they're engaging in, to make themselves feel worse, if that makes sense, to make themselves feel like they are the ones that are the, because they do feel like a lot of burden. They feel like they are a burden just in general, but also that they've got a lot on their shoulders. I feel like they're responsible for, they're taking responsibility for somebody else. So for some of you, they maybe have a child or something like that, or some sort of heavy personal responsibility that it feels like suffering. It feels like a burden to them, but because of their guilt, they feel as though they have to carry that. It's like they're carrying someone else's shame, or they're hiding something but it's someone else at fault, not them necessarily, but they feel responsible for. To be honest, it feels like someone else has made them feel that way. It feels like there's another person in play here, that behind the scenes of this person, and they've just got this strong conviction that it's their destiny to uphold this other person's guilt or burdens as their own. But with that being said, they do feel a very strong spiritual connection with you. There is this sense of destiny at play here. But for some of you, it may be even a parental figure, because we do have the child there as well. So it could be their child, or they could be the child in the situation that is weighing them down so much. It's like this family duty, responsibility kind of thing coming into play on this person's side of things. There is a lot of, it's kind of like naivety, that they're naive to the fact that they don't need to be carrying that they don't need to be sticking to that rule, that they don't need to be holding on to this so heavily. So it's kind of taking them back to like expressions of like childhood, like where they're really struggling to regulate their emotions. There may be something going back to their childhood that is at the root cause of all this. Like, I covered for you when you were a child kind of thing, or something along those lines, has got to do with this. Because there's this big giant cross on their shoulder that they're carrying, and somehow it's linked to their inner child or their childhood or a child. But it feels like it's got nothing to do with you at all, Scorpio. And it's holding this person back. That's why every time they get close to you, because they want to be close to you, but it's holding them back, and they turn away at the last second because of whatever this other thing is. Like, it's a strong third-party influence, but it's not necessarily a person. It's more this burden, this responsibility that they're carrying is the third party in this situation that has led to this being no contact somehow. You might want to cross-watch this person's placements, or check out some of your strong placements as well, Scorpio. But we will move on over to Sagittarius. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay. All right, Sagittarius. The no contact situation for Sagittarius. What's been left unsaid in the no contact situation for our Sagittarius, please? Well, got cards jumping out here. Some things aren't about you not being good enough. They're just not right for you. So, it's telling us that this person is just not the right fit. It's not the right size for your foot. What's the, is it Cinderella, where he goes around with the shoe? He's just got a foot fetish, man. It's, there might be something about a foot fetish here. But it's like, yeah, it's just, you're not Cinderella, so the shoe doesn't fit. I'm not saying that you're not Cinderella, like, that we can all have our fairy tales, right? But this one's not yours. Maybe you're Snow White, maybe you're Rapunzel, and this is the Prince Charming from Cinderella, not from... Honestly, to be honest, it feels like Belle and the Beast. You're Belle looking for your Beast. You're not looking for the shoe fetish guy. You're looking for the Beast, Sagittarius. But if you ask, I'll stay. They're kind of... They know that you're not the right fit for each other, and that there is some issues, but it's kind of like, I feel like this person is codependent, and that's why they want you to say, no, stay, because of their own issues with codependency. Shoes on the other foot now, or something. Weird little phrases sometimes pop up. Sagittarius, what's been left unsaid? See, they want to stay for the foot fetish, not for the right shoes. All right, we have the book coming through first. Do you know, this is very interesting. Do you know, we have the rodent, the mouse, coming through next, followed by the fox. All right, but so this person is kind of like, this is kind of a game to them. They're going around and asking everyone, oh, does this shoe fit? Does this shoe fit? It's just an excuse for their foot fetish, right? It's like, it's actually, the reality seems to be, though, that it's, if you ask, I'll stay, even though they know that you're not the right fit, because they know who the right fit is. They already know. It's someone from their past. They want to go back. They do. It's kind of like their ex won't take them back. And so they're trying to fit in wherever else they can. And so it's kind of like a bit of a game to them now, because it's like, I just want to be taken in. I just want to be accepted. I just want to, the thrill of the chase, that kind of thing. It's a bit of a game to them now, that they just don't want to be rejected. I'm not going to lie. They need to learn a bit more. Like, they're very, very intelligent and manipulative as well. Like, they're just not right for you. Like they say all the things and they do all the things, but there's just something that's just not adding up, or there's just something that just doesn't feel right. And it's a past loss that they have suffered. They haven't dealt with that. They haven't learnt from that. And so it's kind of become just a game to them to prove to themselves that I can just because I lost that in the past doesn't mean that I have to lose everything. It's weird. It just keeps saying the same things over and over. So pretty straightforward there, Sagittarius. But you are more than welcome to check out your other placements, or cross-watch this person's placements as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn and the no contact situation. What's been left unsaid for Capricorn with the no contact situation? Okay, the truth is more complicated than you think, Capricorn. We see a lot of clocks up here, so time, but we also see this stuck in a maze energy there. The truth is more complicated than you think. There's a lot more going on here than you realize. Losing you taught me that love isn't just about possession. So were they a little bit controlling, Capricorn? It's weird because it's kind of like they thought that you would understand because you're a Capricorn, and the stereotype of Capricorn is that Capricorn are materialistic, and Capricorn care more about their belonging, their possessions, than and Capricorns care about control and being domineering. They thought that you would understand, but you shocked them, I think, Capricorn, that you actually cared about the love. You didn't care about the possession. I think that surprised this person, because they felt like they didn't realize how much they were like that they care about the material, that they care more about, the trophy wife, the trophy car, the trophy house, and having the money and all that sort of stuff, the possessions, than the love. And they didn't realize you kind of like slammed that in their face a little bit, Capricorn, that it's kind of teaching them a lesson, so to speak, that, oh, Capricorn was more than I presumed. Capricorn was more than surface level of what I saw. There was more, and losing you has now taught them that, oh wow, the love actually meant more. I can't believe I lost that. I thought I was worried I was losing a nice car. I thought I was losing, whatever all the material stuff was. They thought that's what they were losing out on, but really they're realizing now it's the love that you gave that they're truly losing. But it's teaching them. They are learning. I feel like this person treated you very controlling and tried to cage you, and they tried to they tried to put you in a box. They tried to stereotype you and say that you are all these things that you actually are not. The truth of you is much, much deeper than what they tried to say you are. And you're like, no, man, I'm a bird. I need to be free and fly. I got wings, baby. I'm a Crazyfaerie. I got wings. I'm gonna fly off. You can't cage me. Don't try to put me in a box. What's that movie quote? Don't put baby in a corner. Capricorn. What's been left unsaid in the no contact situation for Capricorn? Something about time coming up here too. They're realizing they were just a babe in the woods. They knew nothing. They knew nothing. They were still just a baby. Look at that. The child on the bottom of the deck there. So this person is realizing that they still have a lot of growing up to do. Because we start off here with the fox. All right, they thought this was a materialistic trade. They thought that this was, I'll trade you this and you'll give me that, and that's not how it worked. Like I said, Capricorn, this person does not know what they're getting, because of the deepness of Capricorn. They weren't prepared for that. They were only prepared for, this is going to be a great sale. I'll be able to sell myself to Capricorn, and, Capricorn will just, I'll do what I got to do to get what I need, and Capricorn will just fall for my tricks, and I can be sneaky, and Capricorn will never clue on. Capricorn, nah, at every single corner, you saw straight through them. Saw straight through it. And, this is like, this person was like a dodgy car salesman trying to sell you the worst car on the car yard. And you were like, I don't want that car. I came here I have a specific car in mind that I want. Where's my car? I don't want that car. I'm standing up for myself, and I'm a Capricorn. I'm going to be stubborn when I need to be, and I'm going to do the work to get the one I want. I've done the work. Here's my money. Look at me. I'm not worried. And this person's like, now what do I do? I haven't planned for this. Capricorn threw me off my track. I'm kind of getting that this is a script for this person, right? That they, it's like this is every single time that I've used this script on somebody, it's worked. And I've put them in this cage, and I've controlled them, and they've done what I wanted, and I've got what I wanted. Whereas they came across Capricorn, and all of a sudden Capricorn's like, I see straight through those games. I'm not playing those games. You can't manipulate me. And it threw this person big time. It really did. And they're learning their lessons, that you can't fool a Capricorn to start with. But we do see the bouquet here as well. So, they're starting to realize that the trades that they made were not the ones that mattered, because, they're learning that love isn't about possession, and love is about time and energy and, giving. Love is about giving to one another. It's not just about taking and taking and taking, which this fox was trying to just take and take and take and get as much as they could get. It was about giving and receiving, giving and receiving. Giving so, equal, equality, reciprocal energy. I can never say the full version of that word. I want to say it, the reciprocity, whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right? Reciprocal energy. And you showed this person. This is what it's about. It's about giving as much as I'm taking. It's about taking as much as I'm giving. And I'm not playing these games. It's equal footing. So here we see this person. We have the Herald here, which is the stork in the traditional deck. So some of you could be dealing with an Aries. I link the fox a lot of the time with Aries as well as Capricorn. But there's change a coming, change a brewing. It's like, now, I'm learning that love isn't about possession. I'm learning that my games don't work on Capricorn. My script doesn't work on Capricorn. They totally flipped it, and I was left stuttering, not knowing what to say. So, I've got to come up with new ideas on how I can get back in with my Capricorn. This is movement. I do feel like for a lot of you that feels like it's coming back your way, and they're trying to change and transition into, you know, more reciprocal energy here. I just want to get one to clarify that, because, you know, that it's not being 100% clear with me, the outcome of that herald. Clarify the herald. What's the placement of the herald as it pertains to Capricorn and this no contact situation? Well, we see Capricorn, so the movement is going back towards Capricorn. It's about Capricorn. Capricorn's coming up with new ideas on how I can move forward anyway, right? But they're wanting to come back towards Capricorn, definitely, with the Capricorn card coming out there. Not going to lie, Aries and Capricorn are a pretty solid mix, but that does tend to be an issue. The Aries can be a little bit possessive, and Capricorn doesn't play that game. But this is interesting because the truth is more complicated than you think. Just wanted to clarify that as well, because you know me, guys, I like to delve into the Capricorn readings, especially when they do portray, you know, some things that reflect in my own personal life. The truth is more complicated than you think. What's that about time, please? We see the crossroad and then the wolf. So the crossroad and then that's the dog in the traditional deck. So the decision to be loyal, the decision to be supportive, and you know, so it's free will though with the crossroads here. It's choosing what path we're going to take in order to prove our loyalty, prove our, you know, I feel like for a lot of you, they really misjudged you, and they're realizing that losing you taught me that love isn't about possession. Love is about loyalty, dependability, support, the base of friendship within the connections. You know, that this is my, you know, my pack. This is my person. This is the one that I want to walk beside me forever. My, you know, dog is man's best friend, right? So they're trying to make a decision on how to actually, you know, they are trying to come up with new ideas and perspectives and stuff too. So they may be trying to do the work here, Capricorn. They're definitely trying to come up with ways on how to come back towards you. But, you know, with that being a choice or a decision, choosing the path of, you know, loyalty here, they may be, you know, and then the truth is more complicated than you think. It's kind of like they're kind of in this maze of their own making, but they know that it's time to start learning these lessons and making better choices, and especially better choices where, you know, like I feel like for you, Capricorn, they're losing you not only taught them that love isn't about possession, but also that it's not about, like, that it's like losing you made them realize how much reliability and support they had with you, and how important that is to them. And now that they've lost that, they feel alone in this world, kind of thing. And that it's, you know, but we're getting, there's still something else there, but it doesn't want to come out. Look at that, the truth isn't always black and white. There's this grey area that doesn't want to come out. So maybe check your other placements, or cross-watch this person's placements and see if you can get a bit more info, Capricorn. But it's not wanting to come out right now. But that's what we're seeing there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We will move on over to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. What's been left unsaid in the no contact situation for you, Aquarius? What's been left unsaid in the no contact situation for Aquarius? interesting that I'm like, look how big this deck is, and I'm seeing the same cards coming back over and over again. We have, I'm scared of what we could become. All right, and we see a reference here to the red string of fate as well, and it being cut. Okay, because there's a fear here. Look at this. I keep stepping towards you only to pull away again. So they know that you are both very, very linked. There's a sense of destiny, a sense of fate between the two of you here. They keep it's very hot and cold energy with this, stepping forward and then stepping away, stepping forward and then stepping away. It's like very unsure of themselves and knowing what direction to take, whether they should be going towards you or away from you here. It's because of fear. There's a fear here. Fear that, it's kind of this energy of like, if I'm with Aquarius, we become too powerful. I become too powerful. And then it's like a responsibility, yeah? Like, because if I'm with Aquarius, we become this amazing thing, and then I've got to do my part. And they're just unsure if they're able or willing to do their part, to be as amazing as you, Aquarius. Because they're like, Aquarius can do that part. They can do their part, but I don't know if I can do my part. So I don't know whether I should step in or step out. Aquarius, what's been left unsaid in the no contact situation for Aquarius, please? We have the ring here, firstly. We have the grave, which is the coffin. This person, they see the butterfly wings there. They know that a transformation would be necessary. But once again, they don't know that they can pull it off. They don't know that they can transform and change. This is kind of saying the relationship is over and done with. Because, I'm just picking up straight away, they don't think they can transform to be the person that could become equal to you, honestly. And we do see the anchor here as well. They're very stuck on you. They're very connected to you still, very stuck on you, but they're also stuck in past cycles, and it's kind of like the relationship is dead and stuck and holding you back. I feel like it just holds you back now, Aquarius, that and they keep holding back as well, obviously. But it does seem to be very strongly here that, you seem to be very conscious of the fact that it is over, and that it's like, because they can't transform and provide the dependability and reliability that you deserve. All right. So they're stuck in this cycle where they know that they can't transform away from that cycle. So that's why they're afraid to try, because they feel like they will fail, because they don't think that they're capable of the transformation that you deserve in this connection. All right. So that's what we're seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Pisces. Okay, Pisces and the no contact situation. What's been left unsaid for Pisces and the no contact situation, please? No contact situation for our Pisces. If love had a weight, would you still carry it? See the rock versus the feather here. Light as a feather or heavy as a rock? If love had a weight, would you still carry it? Do you know what? That's coming through as weight, as in W-A-I-T, rather than physical weight, to be honest. That there is a couple of you where there is actual weight concerns. Like, I don't know whether it's you or them, but it's like there's just something there about actual weight differences. Someone unsure if they can deal with the weight. But also, yeah, if love had a weight, would you still carry it? Would you wait for me? Kind of thing. So maybe I'm kind of picking up on this energy, Pisces, of someone kind of saying to you, will you wait for me to lose weight or put on weight and be the ideal weight that I need to be? There does seem to be an actual weight issue there. There are things I never got the chance to tell you. This person's holding on to a lot. There's a lot of unsaid things here. I feel like for a lot of you too, you had no clue about the weight issue in this person's mind. For some of you, I'm not, you know, I'm a very large person myself, but like, and it sounds really harsh, but for some of you, this person, they're not sure that they can deal with your weight, Pisces. And they never got a chance to tell you that. And for some of you, it's the opposite. They're like, oh, they never got the chance to tell you that you have the ideal body. But I am picking up, I'm not going to lie, I am picking up on a bigger person like myself. Although, one of my Pisces close friends actually said to me recently, okay, we were talking about height and size. And she said to me, Michelle, that person never measured up to your size. And that's why it felt like there was such a big difference between the two of you, because and it's got nothing to do with your physical height or weight, Michelle. It's because the spiritual weight that you carry makes you like 7 foot tall, and you are a big, imposing presence. And they didn't match up to that. You need someone in your life that matches, you need people in your life that match up to that and can present as much spiritual weight as what you do, spiritual height, you know, imposing presence, spiritual presence. This is what that feels like. This is what that feels like. That maybe that's what the issue was that they had with your weight. Is it's not anything to do with your actual physical weight. Maybe it's you're an imposing presence, because they can feel that you are this huge spiritual presence in the world, and they are not. They're just not. Sounds horrible, but they're not at your level, Pisces. You know, Pisces are naturally very spiritually impressive. All right, like, you guys have got the big D energy for sure, regardless of gender or body. I feel like this is that. You've got the big D energy and they don't. You made them feel small, Pisces. Because I feel like too, I'm talking specifically to a Pisces woman with the big D energy. that was dealing with a man and you made him feel small d energy, because even if he didn't, even if that wasn't the physical case, you made him feel that way. What an interesting analogy. Kind of true though, guys, like not gonna lie. And you know what I'm talking about, right? That spiritual presence, that big D energy. Some people have got the big D energy, even if they don't have a D. Not gonna lie, all right? Pisces, what's been left unsaid for Pisces with the no contact situation? Okay. We have the bear. And look, it's the bear coming from the woman. You're so nurturing. You're the big mama bear. You're the big, you hold your own. You're too strong, too powerful. Your boundaries are too firm. You're too confident in yourself. This person, they're just a little baby bear and they don't know how to deal with a big scary bear. We have the sun. And do you know what this do you know what this is, Pisces? Because we have the garden coming after that. It's about to be revealed that it doesn't matter about this no contact situation anyway, because it's about to come to light that you're meeting someone new. You're about to meet somebody new who carries the big D energy too. They can match you equally. All right. You're going to meet them in the middle. And for some of you, it's like, get out of the house, get out into the sun, spend some time outdoors. Something about warmth there as well. Like, if you're in a country where it's like still very cold or whatever, maybe is there like because I'm getting like a bonfire night or like some sort of party with fires. Going to some sort of event where there's a big fire or like multiple fires, sitting around the fire pit, cozying up with someone. I'm kind of getting that coming through there as well, but it's some sort of event, an event with fire. Maybe fire twirlers or something like that. Maybe that's where you meet this other bear, because a grizzly bear like you, Pisces, needs another grizzly bear. You can't of course a little squirrel can't handle a big grizzly bear. It's not going to matter anymore. It's not going to matter anymore because you're meeting someone new. All right? And there will be like a specific date, and I feel like maybe that's the fire energy, that there might be a fire sign that is, Leo's card there, and I do associate the bear with Leo and Aries as well as Capricorn, but so we see a lot of fire energy here. So there could be a fire sign, but you're going to meet someone new, and it's going to change the way you perceive this no contact situation anyway. Yeah, and it's kind of telling me too that like there is so many things that I haven't said, and like you can see how them letters are all kind of flying out the window or in the window. It's kind of like they can just fly off into the ether now because I don't care. All those things that were left unsaid aren't going to matter soon. All right, Pisces. So that's what we're seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all again soon.